Hello, everyone. This is Teniecka Drake, and I am going to share a book with you that I've written called The Gift of Finding God's Love Guilt and Shame Turned into My Shine. Please check that book out either on Barnes and Noble, or you can find it at Amazon, or any place where you can get that book. Remember, it is not okay for anyone to hurt or harm you. Please check that book out, and happy reading, everyone.
Thank you for tuning into Monday Morning Conversation with Pastor J and T. Drake. Grab your coffee, tea, or milk, and let's talk about the topic for today. Let's get the conversation going.
Hello, everybody. We're back. We're back with our second show of the season. This is T. Drake along with Pastor J. That's me. We're coming to you with Monday Morning Conversation. Or you can say Pastor J with T. Drake or T. Drake with Pastor J. Whichever way, you got the both of us. And we're going to continue our conversation on cloak and cover, hub son, leading into cuffing season. Hey, T, what's going on?
Hey, Pastor J, not much. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. So what's going on down in Biloxi, Mississippi?
Everything is good. It's very good.
All right then. All right then. So our audience has responded to our last show, and they're really excited about listening to what we got to talk about. And today we're going to kind of segue into from Hub Son, which is basically what we've been talking about heading into cloak and cover, which we're going to talk about today, and some definitions. And then we're going to head right on into that other hot topic, which is cuffing season, where we'll do a lot of episodes on. So, Sister T, what do you think? Hub son. Let's give the people your definition again of hub son, or one that you may have formulated from the last time we talked.
Hey, a hub son is an adult male that still acts like a child.
Okay. And more particularly, he's the mate adult male who acts like a child, which means that he's not taking his proper role as a provider, protector, and a preserver. And when we have a man like that, when I talk to women, when we talked last time, that's a deep concern. And did we decide that it was a positive thing or a negative thing, or maybe a neutral position to have when it comes to having a hub son? Is it good to have a hub son?
Okay, so I don't think we agreed that it was good. Onto the article, I guess she believed it was good for her.
Right. Yeah, but she also at the end said she would think it would be more optimal for them to be equals.
And have a dose of alpha.
Right. Have a beta male with a dose of alpha. And we were talking about the fact that it's probably easier for an alpha male to show, for lack of a better word, I don't like that, a beta than a beta to have a dose of alpha. Because if a beta has, I believe that the beta, if he shows a dose of alpha, he's actually faking it, because that's what beta males do. They fake being an alpha. You know what I'm saying? They're over the top trying to be an alpha. They often are driven for acceptance by other people at a rate that makes you think at first glance that they're alpha, but when you look at them closely, you'll find out that they're not. And I think that's a worse combination than an alpha male just showing, and it made alpha male seem very like a Neanderthal, like he doesn't have any feelings. And what I wanted to point out was a true alpha male knows when to acquiesce. That's why he's an alpha male. He knows when to tone it down. He knows when to shut it off. And he doesn't take it personal when he has to. As opposed to the beta male, who, when he's told to shut his alpha tendencies down, he takes it as an insult. He takes it as an insult. So that beta male who's trying to be an alpha, but when it's time for him to acquiesce or go back to what he's more comfortable doing, he takes that as an offense, where the alpha male wouldn't take it as an offense because he looks at the bigger picture, the mission at hand. If she's better at this task, this situation, or the idea to get it done, he wants to win at all costs. So if it takes him to step back to win, alpha male will do so, because again, he wants a W. He doesn't want a loss. Where beta male, he's more concerned about acceptance, his friends, what people think. Uh, did it make him rise in a social status? And that tends to be detrimental to a relationship between male and female. And you sent me a video that was really good. What video did you send me, and who was that was talking?
It was R.C. Blake's, and I forget the gentleman's name from the table. I forget his name from his show.
Yeah, it'll be in the description box. Please listen to that. And with these beta guys and alpha guys, more so beta, or more so these men, and I'm gonna quit labeling them in that terminology. There are men who out here who take advantage of alpha females, and what I've seen happen is when an alpha female gets into a relationship with them, or female in general, she doesn't have to be an alpha female. What he does is take advantage of her nurturing to the point that he begins to take advantage of the situation that they're in. What he does is set up and manipulate her, and he wins her confidence, because we also saw an article that alpha female normally picks a beta male because she's wounded by the alpha male, the so-called alpha male. So the beta male is safe for her feelings. But we discovered that the beta male in that situation understands this. And as he deals with her feelings, he will also want to take advantage of her, possibly in her feelings, in her pocketbook, in her spirituality, and physically, to whereas he manipulates it to where now, instead of being the protector, the provider, the preserver, he becomes one that's being taken care of. And she's doing all that all the time. So you talked about that. You said what it was like to be around a beta male and for them to try to manipulate you in the position of taking care of them. Can you tell us from your perspective about that?
Yes. Well, what I found is that since me being a woman, and women are naturally inclined to do the nurturing, when you have someone like that, their inclination is to take advantage of that. And then while they're manipulating all of that, because as a woman, I'm not going to want the person I'm with to watch them fall apart, and I don't do anything. Well, it's too bad for you. It's just going to happen. You're going to want to do something, and not try to save them. But if you're like, I'm married to that man, or was, I'm not going to just sit there and let my husband fall the wayside. If there's something I could do, then I'm going to do it. And since we are the help meet, then you want to help them. You're not trying to save them, but if you're married to them, you're supposed to just sit there and just let it just happen. That's your husband. You're supposed to be there, not the ride or die, but to support, to help where you can. And I found that the person that I had just used that to the advantages, as much as he needed to get whatever it was, manipulate to do certain things, take advantage of the nurturing part, because I want to make sure our family at the time was good. So if I have to do a little extra, if I have to go get a job, or if I have to I will do my part. And so, you have that person that's just looking at it like, well, I guess she'll do about anything. If I need this, I ask her, she gave it to me. Then you start to find out that he learned me, and learn what I would do. And I didn't want to just let my family just start to just disintegrate before my very eyes, and not try on my part to do what I could do to try to salvage or try to save supposedly the marriage that I thought I had, and it wasn't true. It was all false. So
yeah, and I like what you said, and I think what has made the difference in what you were describing is, if we look at the Bible, clearly the role of men and women have flip-flopped, which is part of the fall of the world. If you read the Bible carefully in Genesis, where it talks about the woman will desire her husband, that's not that was part of the curse. So the curse is not she'll desire her husband in a good way. And then what he did was relinquish his authority and his responsibility, his ability to be able to protect, provide, and preserve. When that situation happened in the garden, everything got turned upside down, including everything in creation. Man became, instead of the caregiver and the protector and the provider and the preserver of the garden and the world that God had given him, the world became a predator on him. And therefore, that which was supposed to help him, if not rooted and grounded in the truly God, works as a hindrance to him. So therefore, we have this female who now has to fend for herself, has to take care of herself, and she latches on to her counterpart male, but he's not the protector, provider, preserver. He's more of a user. And men are very simple. We're not very complicated. We might have complicated thinking, but we're very simple. If you allow us to be trained in a way, and I'm using the word trained, in a way that you as a woman, and this I'm talking to you ladies, you begin to do this ride or die situation with your husband or your boyfriend, and really he's manipulating you